So let me ask you a quick question. How did 2025 go? Did it not really go your way? Or did it? Well, however it did, that's most likely how your 2026 will be. See, just a quick statistic for you. Over 80% of people didn't even achieve their New Year's resolutions last year. And only 10% said that they achieved all of them. And in that 80%, most of those people failed their New Year's resolutions in the first month alone. See, whether you like it or not, you're becoming someone off of those New Year's resolutions. But what if I were to tell you that there's something that can change 90% of where you end up in life and can assure that you will achieve 90% of those New Year's resolutions? See, whether you like it or not, your habits are training your identity. For example, you said, I'm going to take a quick 15-minute break. I deserve it. And instead of just spending 15 minutes, you spent 6 hours on social media. What does that mean? That means that habit of setting those boundaries and those restraints and setting that line has now been broken. And in other areas of your life, you'll let that leak over. But not only that now bad habit caused you more depression through comparison and looking at other people's lives. And you're like, wow, they're just doing so much better than me. When you really don't know what's behind the scenes. For all you know, they could be in tons and mountains of debt, just trying to live a life that they can't really afford. Or you said, I'm going to go and vacuum the house today. See, again, it's not just a daily to-do. It is changing your identity. Now, since you haven't vacuumed, your house becomes a cluttered mess. And now you just feel depressed, overwhelmed by the amount of mess that's all around you, and you just feel stressed every single day, and you start to feel lethargic as well because it just feels like there's so much for you to do. And this leads me to the next. Habits don't just change your day, they change you. For example, let's look deeper into those. Into the scrolling for 6 hours. That could mean that you didn't set that line in the sand for yourself, which means you don't set the line in the sand for those around you, which means people constantly cross your boundaries. And if you're looking for a significant other and they're coming into your life, you never set those clear boundaries for the people around you in their life. And they see that. And because they see that you don't respect yourself. And when they see that, they may see they don't respect themselves, which means they won't respect me, which means they won't respect us, which means they won't respect our kids. And so you've lost complete and utter all respect that person could possibly have for you because you've built bad habits. Let's look at the vacuuming. Something so simple as just vacuuming for 30 minutes to an hour. And now your house becomes a mess. And now since your house is a mess, at work your desk becomes a mess. And your work that you do also just seems messy. You never double or triple check it at all. And everybody notices and realizes that. That has become your identity. That has become your future. And instead of you getting that promotion, you just get passed up for the 6th time. Not because you don't fully understand the position, but because your work that you put out is a reflection of you. But let's flip that coin and let's move 10 years out. Same scenario. In this instance, instead of going those 6 hours, you stop at the 15 minutes. And in that time, who knows? You may have picked up a hobby. And in that hobby, you may have met somebody and it may have been awesome and you guys get married. Or you could have started a company in that time too as well. And in both of those endeavors, people still respect you because you have set those boundaries for yourself. So it's easy to set those boundaries for others in your life. And in doing so, this makes your relationships more genuine and more personable because people know who you are. And it makes you feel good because you know who you are. Let's go back to the vacuuming. If you just go ahead and vacuumed, great. Now you have a clean house. Now that person that's coming into your life sees a clean house. They see somebody who takes their life seriously. Your boss sees that you take your work seriously and you climb up the ladder faster than anybody could ever anticipate. And you feel less stressed and less depressed because it's not a whole huge mess around you. See, again, your habits don't just change your day, they change you and who you will become. You don't become who you want to be by accident. Yes, we are creatures of comfort. But you're not stuck. You're just loyal to bad habits that don't serve you or the future that you wish to be in. You're more loyal to comfort than to good habits. One habit would do way more for you than any amount of motivation can do for your life. One good habit can change your whole entire trajectory of your life. See, this brings me to my next point. Habits versus motivation. If you find one good habit that aligns with who you want to become and who you want to be, it will outweigh and change your life more than even one quote of motivation. One good habit can outweigh all the motivational speeches and quotes you hear on the daily. One good habit can change the whole entire trajectory that your life is on. So I guess my one statement to you would be this. Become intentional or become okay with the life that you're living now. Those are your choices. Become intentional with your habits and the ones that you form, or become okay with living in comfort and never achieving the life that you set out, that you said you were going to achieve.